So we're going to do a quick video about strap locks because I think they're really important, because nothing's more frustrating than trying to put your strap on and just sitting there and wrestling with it. But the strap locks make that just go away, and then you don't have to worry about anything ever. And this started for me when I used to play Les Pauls, which had like the, you know, the rounded part up front, and then your strap kind of does this thing a little bit, where it kind of it would get in situations where it would pop off. So that's when I realized, when I almost dropped a $4,000 Les Paul Supreme, that I had to find a solution. And I've been using the Dunlop ones for over a decade with zero problems, and I literally have them on everything because it just makes it so easy. And I think it's really, really important. You don't want to worry about your strap falling off in the middle of a gig or anything like that. I got a travel guitar here that we're going to put these strap locks on, show you how easy it is, show you a little bit of tips, because I've been doing this for a while. And if you're looking for strap locks, I think the Dunlop ones are the best. So let's take a look at the installation process and see how simple it is. So for this, obviously you're going to need some strap locks, a guitar, and a strap. Typically needle nose pliers, or like some other kind of pliers will help. Sometimes you can use both, depends. Typically I can get the job done with just a pair of needle nose pliers, and two types of screwdrivers. I usually use one to get the most of the work in, and then you're going to need something a little bit thinner to go in through where the strap lock goes in, which is usually the challenging part. Most of the time I've been able to get these installed without having to bore out anything in the guitar. You want to be careful, because if the strap locks that you take out, the screws are too thin compared to the replacement screws that you'll use that are supplied with the strap locks, you might want to be careful that you're not screwing a screw into a hole that's too small, because you may crack your guitar. I haven't had any problems with that, but something just to make sure that you're not doing it the wrong way or cracking your guitar. So we'll be putting strap locks on this, which is my travel guitar for right now, which is another video I'll do. I've been having a lot of fun with this, but again, just the time it takes to get a strap on here. Levy's leather straps, which I like a lot, but just the leather's a little ornery, and to get it on there, you kind of got to wrestle with it a little bit, or off, and that's something that you've just been playing long enough, you're just look how much time that takes, you know, to get it on. And then you gotta, it's more time than I like, you know. I just like the click of a button, don't have to worry about it. Take the strap off at the click of a button, know that everything is safe and secure, and you don't have to worry about it. So just grab one of your screwdrivers and unscrew your original strap buttons. Usually they come out no problem. This is the old screw and this is the new screw, so you can see they're pretty much the same size. There's a little bit of length difference and a very small amount of width difference. Again, most of the time I haven't had problems with this, but this is one of those things, if you feel a lot of resistance and you feel like you're trying too hard to screw it in, you might want to bore out with a drill just a little bit more. But again, that's something to be very, very careful with. Usually I've never had any problems. If you do that, it's totally your own risk. Like, I'm not liable if you mess up your guitar, but again, I haven't had any problems. It's just something, use some common sense. You also want to keep the felts from the original strap locks, because the Dunlop strap locks don't come with any felts. Would be nice if they did, because obviously this doesn't match the color of the black ones that I'm putting on here. So I take new Dunlop strap button, stick the new screw that goes inside, and then add the felt to the base. And then you'll stick that in your guitar, like so. And usually I try to go a little bit by hand first, just to make sure everything's going in properly. And this is where I usually use the bigger screwdriver, because the heads can get stripped if you're not matching the proper screwdriver size. So just screw it in until this screwdriver won't go inside this hole anymore. Everything's going in smoothly, so I feel pretty good about this. Not a lot of resistance. Usually this screwdriver will bottom out before, yeah, that's the point. So you can see that this screwdriver won't go into the strap lock hole anymore, and I can't finish screwing. So that's where the second screwdriver comes into place. It's a little bit thinner, and unfortunately the head doesn't seat into the screw fully, so you want to really make sure you're not stripping that screw head. Use a proper amount of pressure, and usually at this point I do struggle a tad, and this is probably where if you're not careful, you might mess something up. So I'm gonna finish getting this one in. So we got both strap buttons on. I wanna make sure that there's not really any wiggle room, that they're fully seated, and that you know, your felts are obviously in the proper place. So the strap assembly is the little, the locking mechanism. The top, I guess you could call it like collar, and then the bottom collar, and then this little locking cotter pin. So you take this piece and you seat it in. You take that piece and you thread it through, or you know, put it into your strap. And sometimes, depending on your strap, you might have to wrestle with it a little bit, especially with like the leather ones. Then you take the flat washer and then you mash it. I think that's a technical term, right? You'll see that there is, it's really hard to get you to see this on this camera, but there's a groove. You're gonna wanna get this groove of this piece. You wanna get that into the grooves on that mechanism. That can be tough depending on like how thick your strap is, and that's one of the downsides. So like if you have a super thick strap, this is gonna be one of those things that's a little challenging. The good news is that once you do it, you don't have to do it again. Okay, so it's hard to see, but it got it seated in the groove. It's one of those things you're not really gonna be able to do by hand unless you're just an absolute beast. And you have tiny hands, so that's where the needle nose pliers come in. And just grab them. And then you get it seated on there. Like that. And that's it. Now you don't have to mess with your strap. You just press this little button on top, right there, right into your guitar. Bink. And it's stuck in there. I would sling that around for days and not worry about it. That's the kind of action you see happening on a lot of guitars out there, and that will pull off your guitar strap if you don't have strap locks. So if this is the kind of situation you're seeing when you're looking down at your strap, you might want to really strongly consider getting a strap lock. So that's it for the strap lock video. I'm not sponsored by Dunlop or anybody, and I've just been using them for over a decade. They also have an 800-pound test pull before they release. So there's no way in a standard situation that you're gonna ever put 800 pounds of pressure on your strap locks. These are way overpowered, something you can trust. Highly recommend. So hope that helped you. If you're thinking about getting some strap locks, highly recommend the Dunlop strap locks.